All right, we are live. Hello, Team Triceps. Welcome to the team call. I'm so excited for you to be here tonight. We have a special guest talking about Snapchat. So hopefully you're here because you either use Snapchat and you're interested in learning more on how to use it for your business, or maybe you're brand new to Snapchat and you need a little tutorial on how to use it. But if you're brand new to this team and you've never been on a team call, first of all, I want to say welcome and thank you so much for being here. This is where we meet every week and we talk business and we talk strategies and I answer questions and I sometimes have guest speakers on. So I'm glad you're here. So if you look over to the right, you can see that there's a little chat box. I see Katie's on, Abby's on, Amber's on, Bree's on. Say hi and tell us about yourself, where you're from, what your rank is, what you love about coaching, whatever you want to tell us. There's my girl Jess. So, okay, guys, before I jump into this, I just want to say that my internet is not good right now. Mara, can you still hear me? Are we good?
So good.
Okay. My internet is shaky because we have like a major windstorm going on here. It's like 30 or 40 mile an hour winds and we live in this camper and I swear all day it's been just like, I'm like, let's just pray that this passes fast. So hopefully it doesn't kick me off. But you guys, this weekend, the team retreat was incredible this weekend. And if you were there, I just want to say thank you again for being there and just being part of it because it was an unforgettable weekend. And I just have to say that no matter what kind of event you can get to, no matter if it's Team Triceps or Team Takeover or Team Fit Revolution or Team Platinum Presenters or Summit or a local Super Saturday by You, whatever kind of event that you can get to it because the energy is just unreal and you just have something that happens to you at events that just sets yourself on fire, right? Like you're just ready to kind of just go for your goals after you leave, not kind of like go for them after you leave those events. So I can't say enough about events. Even when I'm running them, I'm totally inspired by the event to take my business to the next level. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce Meredith. So Meredith has a special place in my heart. She was one of my very first coaches to actually take this business and run. She listened to everything I ever told her, even when we had some really hard conversations about where she needed to take her business. And you know what? For me, I know that Meredith came to me because she wanted to live her life by design. So I would be doing her a disservice if I didn't have those hard conversations with her. And through it all, she has been so successful in this business. She's running an amazing team, Team Takeover. If anybody is from Team Takeover on this call, I'd love to hear you shout it out and give Mare some love. But Mare hit an awesome goal this year. She's one of 6 Team Triceps elite coaches this year and 1 out of 300 elite coaches in the entire network, which is pretty incredible. So I'd like to introduce Meredith. 37 months at Success Club, hitting Success Club every single month since she's been a coach. This girl is consistent as consistent can be, and this is how you build a business. I'm so excited to have her join us and give her some of her energy because she is a little firecracker, literally because she has red hair, but for real, her personality too. So welcome, Mary. You can take it over and maybe share a little bit about your story, and then you can jump in.
Yeah. Hi, guys. Oh, yeah, exciting. So let's see. Well, that's kind of about me, right? I'm in Jersey. I have a autoimmune disease, so that is something that I personally focus a lot on, especially with my team and my girls. And what I did when I started using Snapchat was there's always so many things that I want to share, like on social media. And there's always so many things that like you want to say, but then you don't want to like spam people, right? You don't want to like overthrow things. And I know Shalene Johnson said something once in one of her trainings and it just stuck with me. She said, like before you post, think about it. Like, is this worthy to my followers? Like, taking a picture next to Carl Deichler is amazing and it's really exciting, but like, who is Carl to our followers? Like, because he's such a big person in the Beachbody world, but does that picture really is that really going to push your social media and your followers and provide some sort of value to anybody? So whenever I, something would happen and I just would be like, oh, I want to share it, but it doesn't really align with the things and like with my brand. So when I found, when I came across Snapchat, that's sort of how my Snapchat addiction became, because what I looked at Snapchat as was an extension of like Instagram or Facebook. It's basically another way that I wanted to take my social media and create relationships offline, if that makes any sense. So I wanted to show who I was as a person more. I wanted to show all my little weirdo quirks and things that just make me me, right? So when I started Snapchat, I had no idea what I was doing. I still don't really know that much about it, but when I first started it, I was really confused. I didn't know a lot of things, so I'm going to show you guys some really cool things. The first thing is like your profile. You have one of these. I don't know if you guys can see it, but when you open up Snapchat, it brings you to a blank screen. Oh, there I am. Hi. Okay. See? So then there's this little ghost guy up at the very top, and if you swipe him down, that's how you'll see your profile. That's how you'll see how to add people and all of your friends. The cool thing is in here, there's like a question mark up at the top, and then there's like a little, trophy, and then there's like the settings. So in the settings is where you can go and you can make your name. And the cool thing is too, in your name, you can add like emojis and stuff. So I'm a really big emoji person. You can add tons of info in here. You can even pay through Snapchat, which is kind of shady, but I haven't done that one yet. It makes me nervous. But you can even send payments and all of that stuff through Snapchat. So that's what's back here. But also another thing is if you scroll down where it says who can, and it'll say send me snaps and view my story. This Snapchat is basically the same thing as Instagram. If your profile is set to private, nobody's gonna be able to see it. So I would set view my story to everyone and send me snaps, everyone. That's personally what I did. You might have some creepers. It is what it is. It's one of those things. Just be careful, I guess, is the best way. The cool thing is, too, you get trophies. I don't really know what the trophies mean, but if you click on the little trophy guy, you do get trophies for sending Snapchats with, like, multiple colors and themes. It's just fun. But also, if you click on your name, like if you click on the little yellow box in the center, you can make a fun profile picture. And that's how you get all of the different pictures moving around. So I think you get like 5 shots and you can just sit there and like take a bunch of pictures. So that's sort of a really cool thing. And you could also save that image. So that's my profile picture on Facebook, actually, is this little yellow guy moving around. Just because Snapchat is becoming so popular and people just kind of know this little ghost. So I saved it. And if you click on it, you can actually just save it that way. Okay, so those are some fun little tips. And then if you guys go over to, so if you're here on your blank screen with where your picture is and you swipe over to the right, then you'll come to where it says stories. And this is just kind of where you can check in and see how your snaps are doing. So if you click on the 3 little dots over on the right side next to where it says my story, it'll show you all of your Snapchats, but the cool thing is it'll show you who viewed it. And it'll also show you who screenshots your stuff. So if somebody screenshots it, it looks like a little green arrow thing. And that's a really great way to pay attention to who's screenshotting your stuff. Because if they're screenshotting your stuff, that means they're interested in what you're saying. So that's another good way that you can kind of like see who's looking at your stuff and what people are really like gravitating towards. So that's one thing. Another thing too, that's kind of cool is next to the My Story button, those 3 little buttons, there's an arrow pointing down with like a little circle around it. If you click on that, you can save your entire story from the past 24 hours. So if you wanted, you could make like a fun little video. You could take pictures from it and create like an iMovie or something. So whenever I travel, I take all of my pictures in Snapchat. And then I go back and I save them all that way. Then you can go to iMovie and make them real quick and kind of do like a fun little, flipogram kind of thing. So that's something really cool. So you could use Snapchat to take a lot of your pictures, and then you can go back and personally and just save each one that you want. So say you took a picture of all of your meals throughout the day, like you took a picture of your breakfast, your lunch, and your dinner, at the end of the day, you can go back in and just save those. So if you click on one picture that you posted, all the way to the right on the bottom is a little arrow pointing down with a line under it. If you click on that, that will save each individual picture right into your camera. So that's really cool. So that way you can also, save pictures as you go, and then that's another way to tie in your current social media back to Snapchat. Because then you can take that picture that you took on Snapchat, upload it, and be like, hey, come follow me on Snapchat. Okay, so that's something really cool. Also, and then in your recent updates, just is all of the people that you also follow, like their stories. Okay, and then if you come back to the home screen where you're going to take your picture, and then you swipe over to the left, that's where you have your one-on-one combos. So that's where everybody will go if you want to send out a personal, like, one-on-one snap to somebody, and that's where to go. The only bad thing is, well, there's a few good and bad things about this. Snapchat does not save your conversations. So if you're talking to someone, I would either take a screenshot of your conversation or keep it in Asana or that Google Sheets or whatever, however you keep your contact list. I would write down their names. A few things also, whatever your Snapchat name is, it will show up as that. So if you're, like, I have somebody called, it's not even a real name, like, it's just a bunch of letters. So when I get a Snapchat from somebody I don't know, it's kind of awkward. So pay attention to that when you're making your name on Snapchat, because that will show up when you go to snap people, your name. So if you have, like, a nickname and that's what your Snapchat was, like, so say you made your Snapchat like a few years ago, I would update your name so that way when you send out snaps, people know who you are. But that's really cool too. They don't save the conversations, which can get kind of tricky. But the cool thing is you can see also when they snap or when they screenshot your stuff too. So say you're having a conversation and somebody screenshots you, they can see it, which is fun. So that's kind of like the overview of Snapchat. Another cool thing too is if you have it towards your face and you hold down the Snapchat. Oh, can you see? If you hold down the Snapchat on your face, this thing will come up and it'll, like, kind of take a picture of your face. And underneath there will come all those fun little filters. So if you've ever seen people, like, with, like, crazy eyes, like, that's how it works. Okay. It's crazy. It's fun. But people love that stuff. So that's something that I do all the time is, like, I just make fun of myself and I'm like, And you just hold it down. See? And then it's just ridiculous. And there's tons of them. So you can send them to people, like, personally, or you can add them to your story. But it's just something fun. Like, it's just, and they update them all the time. There's really random ones. But you can take a video, or you could also just take a single, like, screenshot. It's fun, right? Okay. So that's pretty much the basics of Snapchat. Another thing is too, your snaps can last as long as you would like them to. So there's, like, a way that you can keep them longer or shorter. If you hold down the button and you're recording, I think it's like 10 seconds. Basically, you have 10 seconds to kind of get whatever you need to out, which is cool because, people don't really have that much time. And I mean, Instagram's already down to 15 seconds in a video, so it's like 10 seconds is, yeah, I am addicted. 10 seconds.
Real quick, can you talk about the difference between the story and then snapping somebody, or maybe you're going to talk about that?
Yeah, I can. So your story is everything that goes public for everybody to see. So if you take a picture and you hit the arrow button, that's a way that you can send it to my story, which will be public for everyone, or you can pick who you want to send it to. So that's the difference. Either you pick who you want to send it to, or you send it to your story. You can delete things. So say you do something by accident, you can actually delete them. There's, like, a little garbage can icon that lets you delete snaps just in case you mess up, which I have done before. So that's a way you do it. But if you swipe all the way over, and it says Snapchat up at the very top. That's how you send individual snaps. So you can send somebody a Snapchat just to them, and you could either send a written form, like a written text almost, or you can send a picture or a video. So you could do any of those things. You can even hold down your phone like on the table or something, and it'll be a black screen, and then you can go in and just write on it even if you wanted to. Okay. So that's kind of fun. So that's the basics of Snapchat. And for me too, what I also did was I thought of Snapchat as sort of almost like the way Periscope is, because I know Periscope is kind of like really big. It's like all over the place, but Periscope for me just doesn't work. I don't know why. It's just another app that I don't want to open. So I think of Snapchat almost just the same way as Periscope, because you can save it, you can give people tutorials, and that's sort of what I've been doing and using, because I'm also not a blogger. Like I would never go to a blog and read something. I would rather have something quick to the point. So that's how I think about my snaps, is just being super quick to the point, getting in and out. Oh yeah, so you can set it to black. What else? So Snapchat is really fun. If you want to, what I usually do is I start off my day always on Snapchat. The first thing I do is I take a picture, and it's almost become like an accountability for me. It's just another form of accountability. Like every time I say I'm going to wake up at 5 a.m., I know I need to wake up so I can take my Snapchat that says I was up at 5 a.m. So I literally document my entire day on Snapchat. And what I do is I think about my snaps as if I'm snapping my best friend. So it's the same exact way as you would normally do a regular post on any other social media platform. Like you're still talking to that one person, you're still trying to connect to that one person and give them that value and the things that they need, but it's just a little bit more like lighthearted and funnier. Like you can make it super simple and 100% you. And that's the thing too, like if Snapchat and snapping random things is something that you love, then your followers are going to love it too, because they're probably also already on Snapchat. But if you go on Snapchat and you're just like, I don't really know what to snap, here's my pen, it's the same thing as if you're posting a picture of like your pen on Instagram. So when you snap, you have to remember that people are watching you, especially if you're going to promote it. So, snap things that are, appropriate. And always 100% just be true to you, honestly, because people are going to be following you on social media anyway, and that they're following you because you're you. So if you are following tons of different people, especially other coaches too, I know for me, it's hard for me personally to follow other coaches, because then the comparison game comes into play for me. And then I'm like, well, she's doing this, so maybe I need to do this, but she's not doing this. So I don't follow other Beachbody coaches, especially on Snapchat, because I just try to focus and do my own thing, if that makes any sense. And I also only follow back my prospects. So this is a really great way that I can make really personal relationships with tons of people, because you can Snapchat back and forth. They can ask you questions live as you go throughout your day. And you're able to just really provide so much more value and be one-on-one with people. And that's kind of just what they want. That's the only thing. And I've gotten a lot of turnover. Is that the right word? Turnover from being just a Snapchat follower to coaches. I've gotten a lot of coaches from it, and challengers. I think last month I had 7 coaches, and 4 of them came from Snapchat world in some shape or frame. Yeah, coaches, not just challengers. So I use Snapchat also to show what it's like being a coach. So for me, I love being in PJs. So I take the most ridiculous pictures of myself in PJs all day long, because I know when I wanted to start, I wanted to work from home and stay in PJs and not have to leave. So that's something that I share. So I even take people through my entire day. Like I'll show my my calendar, I'll show my to-do list, I'll show even like the fact that I'm like talking to people. So I basically treat certain days, I don't do it all the time, but when it comes to coaching, I always think about my Snapchat as like a sneak peek week or a sneak peek 24-hour day. I announce it on my other social media platforms that on Tuesday I'm going to be doing a Snapchat day in the life of a Beachbody coach. Like, I'm going to show you every single thing that I do today as a Beachbody coach. Especially if you do this full time, people always are like, well, how do you do this full time? Like, what do you really do? And that's exactly what I do. So if you guys have something like somebody's always asking you the same question over and over again, I would think about what that question is, and that's what I would show on your Snapchat. Does that make sense? So like, if people are always asking you, well, what does a coach really do? Then show them. Just be like, this is what I do. And you could be super transparent. I mean, Bonnie Engel even talked about that on the National Wake Up Call, treating your social media like a sneak peek week at all times. So it's kind of the same thing. Like, your Snapchat is basically like an open invitation into your life. So that way people are really, really connected with you. Yeah, and it's cool too because then people can write back to you. Like, if you say Snapchat me, then people can write you right away instead of like having it be super quick like on Periscope, because those questions come up real fast and then they disappear on Snapchat. But I also, if people can't message you on Snapchat, I always tell people to update the app as much as you can. What I do is I also try to move people to either email or Facebook right away after I've started Snapchatting with them one-on-one, just because it gets easier, because things get lost. And if you guys are like me, I can't remember anything. So I don't know what the last thing I said was, and they're like, okay, so tell me more. And I'm like, well, I don't really know what I was talking to you about. So I always try to bring them right away to either email or Facebook. Ideally, you want to get them to Facebook because they'll have to move over there anyway once they sign up with you, because you're amazing. So I always try to get them over on Facebook, and if they don't have a Facebook, email. But I always say, I'm very honest too, whenever I'm messaging with somebody, I'll say, do you mind if we like move this over to like Facebook or email, which is easier for you, because I can't remember stuff and Snapchat doesn't save our conversations. So if you're just really open and honest with them, that's a really great way to also move them over, because they'll be like, oh yeah, you're right, I do that all the time too. Or if you don't realize that you can have ongoing conversations. So I always move them back over somehow to another social media platform, especially like Facebook or email. Another cool thing that I've learned is that ads will be coming soon to Snapchat. Isn't that exciting? It's interesting. I don't really know much about it. I don't really know how ads are going to show up on your Snapchat, but they're coming. I guess we'll see. But that's sort of my overview.
Okay, I have a few questions.
Yeah.
Okay. So how many snaps do you think somebody should be posting in like a 24-hour span? So we're posting onto our story that holds the snaps for 24 hours. Like, would you recommend that there's like a certain limit? Because sometimes I'm following people and it just like goes on and on and on. But then I'm like, I have so much to say, kind of like what you were talking about. Sometimes it's nice to just like really get a lot out there, because you don't have to feel like you're flooding somebody's inbox. But do you think that there's a point when it's too much?
I mean, I don't know. I have a lot. I snap a lot. Like a lot. And I think people really enjoy it. Especially if you're super consistent with it. Like I don't think I've missed a Snapchat day, even when I was traveling. Like I feel like Snapchat is one of those things where, just like Periscope, you have to either be fully in it or fully not. Do you know what I mean? So if you're going to pick up Snapchat, pick it up and snap the heck out of it. Like, I don't think there's a rule, like posting on Instagram or social media like 3 times a day. But I don't think on Snapchat you need to, especially if you're providing really good content for people that they want.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's just take this to, let's say we have, let's do an example. So we have a newer coach that's trying to meet new people or to show kind of what they're doing with this Beachbody coaching thing. Snapchat could be a really good outlet versus posting a lot about it on Facebook, right? So talk to me. Let's just do like an example. If there was a newer coach who has a full-time job, what would you recommend that they snap throughout their day?
I would start, well, it depends on how you start your day. I always start my day working out. Like I'm a workout person in the morning. So the first thing I would snap is like, what do you do in the morning before you work out? Like I have a little system that I do. I always set out my clothes the night before. I grab water the second I wake up. I drink my Energize, things like that. So I didn't even intentionally ever set out to talk about Energize or Hydrate or any of the performance line, but because I use it, every single person I know just wants Energize. Because I literally post about Energize every single morning because it's just something that I do.
Like how it makes you want to work out, like you're talking like, and sometimes you'll like dance with it and like fun things.
Exactly. So like whatever those random little things that you guys do behind the scenes that you're like, if somebody ever saw me doing this, that's what you want to snap.
Okay, and can I just say too, like there's no shame. Like you're right. Like you're in your PJs, like your hair's a hot mess some days. I mean, my hair's a hot mess on a lot of my snaps. Like no shame, right? No shame.
No shame. And that's the thing is too, Snapchat only lasts for 24 hours. So it's not like it will be up on your, Instagram page. It's not like it's going to always be there. It literally just lasts 24 hours. But I think being super true to who you are, like any of those like little random things that you do throughout the day, I would share. So like if you have a full-time job or even if you're like you're a stay-at-home mom or something, I would Snapchat no matter what, like your workout, I would Snapchat. If you're doing Energize or any of the performance line, I would share that. I always also share my calendar. And then I usually take a picture of the workout, like before the workout starts. You know how they have like that thing where you can like pick what music you want. I always take a picture of that. And then I usually take a small video shot of the intro to the workout video. And then right when I'm done working out, I'll grab Snapchat again and give my take on what that workout was like. So like, especially if you guys are doing hammer and chisel, like it's brand new to everybody. So after that, like even after 20, like, I just take my Snapchat and I explain what the workout was like. Instead of the Instagram.
This is like a reality show of everything that's happening in your life.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
Okay, good. Okay. Yeah. And that's like a sneak peek. That's like a sneak peek into your life. And as a full-time Beachbody coach, people are totally attracted to what you're doing.
Yeah.
But it doesn't have to be when you're a full-time coach. It could be you're a stay-at-home mom or you have a full-time job and people are just interested in what you're doing, right? Exactly. So if you have a full-time job and you get up and you work out, Snapchat your workout that you got it done. Like you could get 5 snaps in the morning before you even
without even doing anything. Yeah.
It's super easy. It's super easy.
And the fact is that it's just you doing it. So there's no like salesy stuff. There's no like promotions because it's just you being you, living your life. Like this is just part of your daily to-dos. I also even share like my personal development books that I read and all that stuff. You're back.
I'm back.
Hi.
Hi, I'm back. Is it still live? I think we're still live. Okay, good. Okay, I had another question. Okay, so someone had asked, and I was curious about this too, talk about how you get people to follow you. So talk about how you, like in more detail, like how you, I know you said that you use the snap picture as your profile picture on Facebook, but I know you talk a lot about it on Instagram. So tell me how you kind of integrate Snap in all of your other stuff.
My biggest thing, what I usually do is I just come up with really silly hashtags that seem to work for me. I randomly made up a hashtag like that said like I will snap you so hard. It's just really funny. Like it's just super simple. But the more you talk about Snapchat just as like a cool place to hang out, that's a really great way also. The link in my Instagram bio takes you right to my Snapchat also. So if you guys want to do that, just copy what I have, and after the ad, the backslash, just put your name, like whatever your Snapchat name is, and that link will bring you there. But that's a really great, easy way to also help people get right to the app instead of it. But I started talking about Snapchat just like as a way to meet new people and be like, okay, well, there's this like fun app. It's totally free, and I'm gonna be doing a meal prepping over there. And I'm going to take you through my entire meal prep plan. So head over to the link in my bio so you can come be friends with me.
Mm-hmm. That's
so
awesome.
I would like talk about it like you're talking to your best friend. Like if you just came across Snapchat and your BFF did not have Snapchat, I'd be like, oh my God, girl, you need this app in your life like right now, because we cannot be friends if you don't have it. So that's kind of how I talk about Snapchat. Yeah. It's the same way I would talk to like my best friend. But I talk about it a lot. I talk about it in maybe like almost every post. I mention it in some sort of way. I talk about Snapchat all the time. Awesome. It's like the jab, jab. I just throw it in there. I sprinkle the word Snapchat everywhere.
Yeah. And you kind of, and I always see people saying things like, for the full story, like, or to see all the pictures of our adventures, go to Snapchat, or like things like that, just how to sprinkle it in.
Yeah, okay. I do that all the time too, especially with meal prepping.
Yeah.
Cooking. I always say like, my recipe is over on Snapchat.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love it. Okay. So I don't think you talked about this. How do you track the people? You like have a whole, like you're like actually tracking people that you're meeting on Snapchat. So you're adding them to your contact list.
Yes. I'm adding them to my contact list. And then I have an ongoing whiteboard that I use just for like my Snapchats. And sometimes it can get hard because you don't know everybody's name on Snapchat. But I mean, it's kind of like the same thing on Instagram. But I try to always write down their names, and I take screenshots of our conversations.
Okay.
Like if somebody gave me their email address, I would take a screenshot of that. And then when it comes to my power hour time, I take all of the screenshots and then I upload it into my contact.
Oh, nice. Okay.
So I save all of the screenshots as I go throughout the day. And then at the end of the day, I'll do my like recap and I'll upload them. And then I'll delete the pictures.
Look at you being so organized. So proud of you.
I learned from the best.
I love it. I love it. Yeah. So you guys, I think that this just kind of wraps it up. I mean, I think Snapchat is a great way. It's an easy way for you to show your true self and like your true life to people. I think with Periscope, we liked the idea of Periscope, but it felt like we had to be really prepared for that, right, Mary? It felt like we had to like prepare some content for Periscope.
I needed to like shower and wash my hair.
Right. No, we don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So if we can just like show what we're doing on a daily basis, that's what's going to attract people to us. And I know for me, like I really started liking it because I wanted to be really intentional on my Facebook page and my Instagram page, what I was posting. And this was just an outlet for me to just post more. Like you were saying, you have so much to say to people and like what you're doing and sharing, that it's a great outlet for that. So.
And I mean, everybody has something else to share that they're like, oh, this is probably too much word vomit for one Instagram post.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
So you can just keep like the video record, just go. Okay, one last question. I don't think you covered this either, but I think someone asked, did we talk about how to get the multiple lines on the text?
Oh, in your notes section. So I have an iPhone. I don't know if it's different for other phones, but in your iPhone, if you go to your notes section and you just hit return a few times and then copy and paste just the blank lines. Does that make sense?
So like on your notepad, like where you
take in your notepad, hit return a few times and then select all, and then you'll just copy the blank boxes. Copy that and then paste just the blank stuff into Snapchat. Mm-hmm. And then you'll have all those lines, and then you can kind of move your cursor little guy around. And that's how you can like tell multiple stories. And another fun thing too is if you like say like you just say hi, what's up? And you go to the T all the way up at the top. If you double click on the T, you can actually copy individual words and change the color of each word too, which is a fun new trick I found.
Change the color of the word from the, yeah, okay.
Yeah, so like you can go in and like just copy like word for word. That's how I've been making different colors. I even have one of those cool pens with the stylus thing at the bottom of it, and you can go in and draw too. Like you can just use your finger, go in and draw around. I sometimes make scribbles. If you can't really read the text sometimes, I kind of go in and just make some scribbles and then move it around. So there's all these fun ways you can make it really colorful and bright.
Okay, so tell me again how you make an individual word a different color.
So if you go into like your text, you have to make it so it looks like the words, not in the box. So if you hit text, if you hit the T twice.
Oh, yeah, okay, I see.
And then go in and just highlight one word at a time. And that little color thing drops down on the top, and you can change each word. Isn't that fun? So like each line could be a different color.
But you can't do that with like the normal text like that has the line through it. You can only do it when it's the big text.
Yeah, only when it's the big text.
Okay, got it.
Yep. And then the little thing next to the T, it looks like a little square. That's where you can go in and just add like an emoji as you go.
Got it.
Like you can add like I usually add funny faces to like the trainers.
Oh yeah, that's funny.
Whatever, like, anything.
Okay, so one other thing that I want to say that I love about Snapchat is, so I took Facebook app off of my phone because I felt myself scrolling forever. The cool thing about Snapchat is like you can choose whose story you want to look at without like seeing it all in your news feed. So there's like 10 people on my list that I'm like always looking at. I mean, there's probably a few more, but I feel like I have like the normal people that I'm always just looking at because I want to kind of see what's going on in their life. So I like that aspect of it too.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, it's a great way to connect with people on like a different level that you really can't on like Instagram or something.
Yeah. Awesome. I love it. Love it. Love it. Love it. So I think we're good. Is there any more questions in the chat box? Let's see.
Meg, did you mean a link for Snapchat? I see Meg asked a question about a link.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You want to just hit on that because you had talked about it before.
Do you mean the link that goes in that I have in my Instagram? There isn't an actual link. You have to do it by hand. I've tried it. So what I would do for everybody here, if this is what you want to do, I would copy everything that I have in my Instagram up until the backslash after ad. And then when you go into Instagram, look at your profile and see what your name is, and then put your name, like your username, not your like screen name. So your username should honestly just be your name, guys.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
I agree with that.
Like it shouldn't be a nickname; it should be your name. So like mine is just Meredith Gersten. So after the ad, just type in your name, and that link should take you right there. You have to do it by hand.
I love it. Awesome. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
How do you choose the stories you see? Amber, I think there's a way to figure out who you're following, right? Or like you add friends somewhere on the little.
Same thing in your settings. If you click on the little ghost guy at the top, then you can go to my friends, add friends, and see who's added you.
Got it.
Like
so then everybody that you add is going to show their story is going to show up, but that doesn't mean you have to watch their story.
Right. If you don't, I don't really even add all the people that add me.
Right.
I only add back the same people.
Okay.
But yeah, your friends, you don't even have to see, and they don't know if you unfollow them either, which is kind of nice, I guess. It's not like Instagram. If you have one of those apps, you're like, she unfollowed me. It's not like that.
No, it's fun. And I think you guys, I think it's just easy because we don't have to like take the time to like create a post. Like sometimes it's just super easy. Like for me, one thing that I like to do is I like to post a lot of my food on Instagram or on Snapchat. I don't like to take pretty food pictures. I think that the lighting is always off for food. So like I'll post, like I'll make my food, and then when I'm building my plate, I like take a picture of like what I put on the bottom, and I say step 1, like potatoes, and then step 2 is like fried eggs, and then whatever, like however it goes, like you can just make it as simple as that to just kind of show people how you eat too. And it's easy. It's like so easy. Yeah. Like, oh, I'm drinking a shake. It's called Shakeology. I drink it every day. So easy.
It's just kind of like it's just fun. Like, it doesn't have to be serious at all. Like, just think of Snapchat as like your fun escape.
Yes.
Yeah.
And have a good time. And like, I always see so many people dancing on Snapchat and like dancing to music and having a good time. And I don't know, I just like it. I think it's fun.
Yeah, Snap is really fun.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Mare, for
Thank
sharing
you.
all of your tips and tricks. And seriously, I can't believe you converted 4 coaches last month with Snapchat.
And I got two this month.
That is amazing. So there you go, you guys. Right there is proof that it works. Like, if you're getting people onto your Snapchat and you're just being you, like, how many times do we talk about just be you unapologetically, and your tribe gravitates towards you? It's proof right there. Yeah. So if you haven't followed Mare on Snapchat, do it. It's Meredith Gersten on Snapchat. So I'm sure you'll be able to find her. All right, guys. Thanks so much for being on.
Thank you, Sarah.
Yeah, thanks for being on, girl. Have a great night, you guys. And if you have any questions, just tag Mare on the team page. We'll answer them.
Yes.
Bye, guys. See ya.
Thanks, guys.